What's up, guys? Good afternoon. So, today, as I shared a little bit and we went over the East Palestine update that came out from Mike DeWine, the governor of Ohio, not sure who, but this is what came out. So, East Palestine, the following are updates from the state of Ohio regarding remediation work at the site of Norfolk Southern train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. A lawsuit against Norfolk Southern. The Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost announced today that the state of Ohio has filed a civil lawsuit against Norfolk Southern in the United States District Court for the Northern District of Ohio. The full complaints are right there. Hold on, we'll get to those. I'll open them up for you, show them to you. We have all the documents, all the court papers. Hazardous waste removal. According to the Ohio EPA, approximately 6.3 million gallons of liquid waste water have been hauled out of East Palestine in total. Where did it go? There is currently a pile of approximately 27,700 tons of excavated soil waiting for removal. So as it waits and gets rained on and whatnot, is that like leaching out the chemicals into the ground that's below it? Like I said, the longer it sits, the deeper they have to go. Independent contractors are continuing high pressure washing in underground culverts off of Sulphur Run. The pressurized washing process removes contaminated sediment in the culverts that is contributing to indoor air odors in some area homes and businesses. Private well testing. Water sample results from private water systems off East Palestine area homes continue to show no harmful levels of contaminants. Okay. The Ohio Department of Health and the Columbiana County Health District received verified laboratory results from 28 additional samples from private water systems as of noon Tuesday. 10 of those wells showed no detectable contaminants. 18 wells had trace detections of some contaminants at levels well below safe drinking water standards. There's no evidence that any of those trace detections are linked to the train derailment. So, okay, hold on, I'll go through it before I start to pick it apart. Included in the 179 systems total are 5 private water systems that have been sampled for a second time. Those results are not available yet. On Monday, a second round of sampling began in the highest priority areas. These results can be viewed here. Residents near East Palestine who would like their private water system sampled should call this number. Okay. Dog cat necropsies. A local veterinarian has requested that the Ohio Department of Agriculture Animal Disease Diagnostic Laboratory examine the remains of a blue tick coon hound that lived near the derailment site and died on Monday following a period of lethargy, anorexia, and drooling. That same laboratory is also expected to receive the remains of 2 stray cats from the East Palestine area for necropsies and testing. Necropsy is basically an autopsy of an animal. The cats had been in veterinary care for the last 8 days with upper respiratory issues, which again, we saw that phosgene causes, and vinyl chloride cause a lot of upper respiratory issues. The Agriculture Animal Disease will conduct necropsies on all 3 animals to determine if chemical toxicity may have contributed to the deaths. To date, final testing results of deceased wildlife from the East Palestine area have not shown evidence of anything. That's weird, huh? If your animal has died for an unknown reason, contact your local vet for further consultation and guidance. The general public cannot submit an animal or tissue sample to the ADDL without a vet order. That's weird, huh? Community Resource Open House. The Ohio EPA will join the U.S. EPA during Community Open House event on Thursday, March 16th from 6 to 8 at the East Palestine School Gym at 360 West Grant Street. I can't make that. Health Assessment Clinic. The Ohio Department of Health Assessment Clinic in East Palestine, operating in partnership with the Columbiana County Health District, is operating on a walk-in basis. Residents should arrive at least an hour before closing to ensure there is enough time to be served. Clinic hours for the remainder of this week are Wednesday noon to 8, Thursday 9 to 1. The clinic is located at the First Church of Christ, 20 West Martin Street. For information, call the Columbiana County Health District at 330-424-0272. Maybe that would be a good place to head up to, the assessment clinic. Talk to people who are headed in there. See what they're saying, what symptoms they're going through or whatnot. I'm definitely going up to East Palestine. Coping with trauma. According to the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, traumatic events such as the train derailment can cause intense stress, anxiety, and worry, especially in the first several weeks following the event. Local certified professionals are on site at the East Palestine Mobile Health Clinic and are ready to assist anyone who has questions or concerns. In addition, any resident can call the Ohio Care Line at 1-800 blah 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 at any time of the day for free confidential emotional support from a trained professional. For more information about local behavioral health resources and providers, contact the Columbiana County Mental Health and Recovery Services Board, and they give a website. Okay, that's the letter, guys. Okay, so now I want to show you the complaint. You want to see the this is the complaint against Norfolk Southern. The other link I had already gone over with you guys. So, let me, this doesn't move. So, here it is, State of Ohio, Dave Yost, Ohio Attorney General, Environmental Section, and Norfolk Southern Corporation and the Norfolk Southern Railroad Company. Okay, the State of Ohio by its Attorney General, this is 109 pages, guys. I am not sitting here reading 109 pages. I'm going to go through it all. Pause to read. Pause if you would like to see more. I just want to at least get this out there, as I have not seen it publicly anywhere, which I think is crazy. But again, I don't know who is able to sign up for these email alerts or these newsletters per se. But here, let's go down through the complaint. On the evening of February 3rd, Norfolk Southern Train 32 derailed in East Palestine, resulting in the release of over 1 million gallons of hazardous materials, hazardous substances, hazardous wastes, and or other harmful pollutants into Ohio's air, streams, rivers, soil, and groundwater, killing tens of thousands of fish and other animals and recklessly endangering the health of Ohioans throughout the region. But, like, how'd it kill all those things, but nothing's detected anywhere? It just doesn't make sense to me. Number 2, the derailment was just one in a long string of Norfolk Southern train derailments, hazmat incidents, community evacuations, releases of hazardous materials. I think what I had was a summary of all this. According to the state of Ohio, yeah, this is just all, okay. So, pause to read more, guys, or if you need to see something in detail. 6. Just pause to read, guys, like I said. So I was just saying, plaintiff, State of Ohio, Dave Yost, at the written request of the Director of the Ohio EPA. By virtue of his office, Attorney General Yost is the Chief Legal Officer for the State of Ohio. The Director of the Ohio EPA is charged under Ohio law with the responsibility of protecting the air, lands, and waters located within the state's boundaries from pollution, degradation, and contamination. The state holds natural resources within its political boundaries, including air, land, and water of Ohio and trust for the benefit of citizens. As trustee of these natural resources, the state has been injured by the pollution of these resources with the hazardous materials, hazardous substances, hazardous waste. So they're talking about all these harmful pollutants, but there's not one thing detected. Number 12, the governor of each state shall designate state officials to act on behalf of the public trustees for natural resources, and such state officials shall... I'm not reading all through this. Like I said, guys, just pause to read it. This details all the train derailments over the last 10, 20 years. It's ridiculous how many there are. And again, from all these or any, what are the long-term effects? Nobody really knows. In the last 10 years, Norfolk Southern's accident rate increased 80% according to a reported analysis. Oh, Norfolk Southern also has recently had numerous derailments involving faulty wheel bearings. In July 2022, Norfolk Southern was responsible for a train derailment in Warner Robins, Georgia, carrying sulfur. Derailment occurred after the crew was instructed to continue train movement despite indication of a defective leaking. That's what I'm saying, man. So whoever gave that go-ahead to keep that train going and not stop it should be held liable, man, for public safety. But again, call me crazy. So and here's the 25 details. The 28 rail cars that skid off in Springfield, Ohio. So you have 2 derailments. Oh, March 9th, there was another derailment. This one in Calhoun County, Alabama. 30 cars. I didn't hear about that one. It occurred a few hours before the CEO admitted his testimony before Congress about the East Palestine derailment. On February 3rd, 2023, at approximately 8:54 p.m., the Norfolk Southern train derailed. The derailment occurred within a mixed-use residential, commercial, and industrial area of East Palestine, Columbiana County, Ohio. The nearest residents are located less than 1,000 feet from the derailment. Upon information and belief, General Merchandise Freight Train consisted of approximately 149 cars and was operated by Norfolk Southern. Upon information and belief, a wheel bearing on rail car 23 and or more of the other rail cars overheated, was defective or otherwise malfunctioned, causing the derailment. Upon information and belief, Norfolk Southern equipped the Fort Wayne line of the Keystone Division with certain hot bearings detectors that, when appropriately installed, maintained, operated, and monitored, are capable of assessing and reporting the temperature of railcar equipment, transmitting real-time warnings to crew members. Well, if they're telling them, if they're reporting the problem, and they're telling them, up, keep the train going, again, what's the point of having the equipment in the first place? That brings me to the point of laws in this country, and the Constitution. They're only as good as the trusted civil servant that is trusted to uphold them. Does that make any sense to anybody? Again, let me say that again. The laws and the Constitution in this country are only as good as the civil servant who's upholding them. Upon information and belief, the alarm warning instructed the crew to slow and stop the train to inspect the hot axle. Upon information and belief, the engineer increased the application of dynamic braking following the alarm. During this deceleration, an emergency braking application also engaged and train 32N came to a stop. Upon information and belief, fire and smoke were observed emitting from railcar 23 immediately following the derailment. See, here's more information coming out. The derailment resulted in a fire that burned for at least 4 days. We thought it was like a day and a half and then a controlled burn. No, 4 days at least. Ohio EPA deployed emergency response personnel to the derailment as part of its effort to abate and prevent harm to human health and the environment. The derailment caused the release of hazardous materials, hazardous substances, hazardous waste, and other harmful pollutants into the air in Columbia County and dispersed them across the surface waters and lands of Ohio. 38 rail cars derailed, including 11 tank cars containing hazardous materials. 5 rail cars near railcar 23 were carrying vinyl chloride. There's the identification numbers of them. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the cars. So here we go. Vinyl chloride is a hazardous waste substance. Vinyl chloride is a known human carcinogen according to the Department of Health and Human Services. The International Agency for Research on Cancer and the United States Environmental Protection Agency. Breathing high to very high levels of vinyl chloride may cause dizziness, sleepiness, fainting, or death. Chronic inhalation, which is what the residents are experiencing today if they're still living in Palestine. Chronic inhalation may cause changes in liver structure or liver cancer. Dermal exposure to vinyl chloride may cause numbness, redness, and blisters. That's touching it. Exposure to vinyl chloride during pregnancy may affect the growth and development of a fetus. Oh, wow. Vinyl chloride is immobile in soil and can migrate to groundwater. Like I said, it's leaching down and it's going to get in all the water. This catastrophe is going to affect everybody in this country. And why it's not a national story is on the news. First thing we should be hearing about on any news broadcast. Upon information and belief, vinyl chloride contained in a train's 32N's rail car exceeded 877,000 pounds. Upon information and belief, a controlled release and burn of vinyl chloride from at least 5 rail cars was initiated on February 6th after monitoring revealed sharply rising temperatures in one or more of the tank cars containing the vinyl chloride. The 5 rail cars containing vinyl chloride were intentionally breached, which means they put a hole, punctured them, and the vinyl chloride was burned. But we also see videos of them being punctured and just the vinyl chloride just spewing out before it was even lit on fire. So again, did that get up in the atmosphere as well too? So that's vinyl chloride. But when they're doing this controlled burn, it's not vinyl chloride going in the air anymore. It's phosgene. And we went over that a few times now. Phosgene is a chemical nerve agent created during World War I, but never implemented on the battlefield. Not implemented till 2023 is the first time phosgene gas has been used on humans. But again, we're only on page 11, guys, and I believe there's 106 pages. So, again, I'm going to slowly go through this because I'm never going to get through this. So, again, pause to read. Here, look at 61 even. Tens of thousands of aquatic animals, including but not limited to small suckers, minnows, darters, and sculpin, were killed as a result of the contamination from the derailment in Sulphur Run, Leslie Run, Bull Creek, and a portion of the North Fork and Beaver Creek. Additionally, there are myriad public reports of dead animals and pets, including dogs and horses across the region as a result of the Norfolk Southern's actions. Look at this, guys, but there's no contaminants. In addition, portions of the affected waterways are habitat for the eastern hellbender salamander, which the Ohio Department of Natural Resources has designated as an endangered species. Well, that's weird. On newscasts, they told us that no endangered species were in danger of being extinct over this. Now in the lawsuit, it says that there is. I don't understand. Shortly after the derailment, a shelter-in-place order was recommended. However, nearby residents living within a 1 mile and ultimately a 2 mile radius of the derailment were later advised and then ordered to evacuate from at least February 4th through February 8th. Upon information and belief, the hazardous materials, hazardous substances, hazardous waste, and other harmful pollutants released during derailment may cause a myriad of health problems to humans and animals, including but not limited to headaches, dizziness, nausea, cancer, harm to the nervous system. This is horrible. Wait a second. Let's read 68. Hold on a second. Upon information and belief, elevated levels of hazardous materials, hazardous substances, hazardous waste, and or other harmful pollutants have been detected in or around the derailment. Oh, really? I thought they said no pollutants were detected in any waterways. That's weird, huh? Here we go, number 69. The hazardous materials, substances, and other harmful pollutants were released on the ground into stormwater infrastructure, storm drains that flow into rivers and creeks, and into surface waters, including but not limited to Sulphur Run, Leslie Run, which both empty into Little Beaver Creek, and ultimately the Ohio River. Water quality sampling has shown butyl. Oh, wow, look at that. So it is showing contaminants in the water. Here's another one. According to the EPA, materials released during derailment were observed and detected in samples taken from these places. What's up with that? They're telling us nothing was detected. What's up with that, guys, huh? Upon information and belief, February 21st, visible impact to sediment extended approximately 6 miles downstream from the derailment in the Ohio River. Upon information and belief, February 7th, butyl acrylate was detected in the Ohio River as far downstream as Steubenville, Ohio, which is 25.7 river miles downstream from Little Beaver Creek. So there is contaminants being found. This 25 miles down. Oh, wow. Upon information and belief, February 19th, trace levels of another were detected in the Ohio River near Cincinnati. Upon information and belief, acrylate odors were noted and reported by responders along sulfur. Oh, wow. The derailment has caused substantial damage to the region. The citizens of the region have been displaced, their lives interrupted, and their businesses shuttered. Farmers cannot sell their produce, tourists will not visit the area, and the businesses' activity in the region has ground to a halt. The stigma and economic impacts of the region will be felt for years to come. The people and businesses of Ohio and the state itself have lost substantial income, economic activity, business income, taxes, and fees as a direct and unavoidable consequence of Norfolk Southern's conduct and derailment. The state of Ohio is entitled to recover and hereby seeks the lost taxes and other economic consequences suffered by the state. Wow. Pause to read, guys. I'm just picking out the stuff I noticed. The defendant's conduct and the derailment have resulted in conditions that are injurious to humans, animals, and environmental health. Wow, guys. Wow. Water pollution law, solid waste law. This is the laws they're citing. These are all the counts they're charged with. Count 10, failure to have a contingency plan. Count 11, unauthorized discharge to waters of the state. A 12 is unauthorized discharge to waters of the state again. Count 13, unauthorized discharge to waters of the state. 14, unauthorized discharge to waters of the state. Same thing. Hold on. Another one. Another charge of that. So probably unauthorized discharge to waters of the state. It's probably per each car or something that went in. Unauthorized discharge into the water. Same. Unauthorized discharge water. Same. Same charge. Same charge. Same charge. Same charge. Anything else here? Same charge. Unauthorized. It's probably for each rail car, like I said, guys. Unauthorized discharge. Unauthorized discharge. Another one. '28's another one. Wow, man. They got a lot of counts against them. Another one. Another one. Must be for each car. Yep. So there might be up to 38 counts of it. Same. Okay, guys, we're on page 68 of 106. We're getting there. Another unauthorized discharge to the waters. Unauthorized discharge. Wow, I can't believe they're detecting polluting 7 miles up the Ohio River. 422. February 3rd and continuing to date to be determined, the hazardous material, hazardous substance, hazardous waste, and or other harmful pollutants discharged to all these waterways: Leslie Run, Sulphur Run, the Ohio River, Bull Creek, North Fork, Little Beaver Creek, and or other waters of the state, yet to be determined. They don't know what's going to happen. They don't know what the effects are going to be. They don't know. This could change, eliminate species or change the DNA in fish. Maybe the fish won't be able to reproduce for 20 years. You know what I mean? Maybe people won't be able to reproduce in Ohio anymore. Again, this is wild, guys. This is wild. There's a lot of things in here that they did not disclose to us. No, not at all. They didn't tell us that 7 miles up the Ohio River, they're detecting multiple chemicals that were present in the derailment. What, did you hear that yet? I didn't. Yeah, this is definitely new news, guys. I'll link this in the description below if anybody wants to see the full copy. If it's not linked down there, just send me an email. I'll send it to you. Because we're only on page 89. And I don't know how good this is doing, just me scrolling through it. I read what I wanted to read out of it for the moment. Like I said, there you saw in multiple bullet points of contaminants and chemicals being detected in 7 miles up the river, in this area and that area. I can't believe that's crazy to me. I never heard that. They said there's no contaminants and nothing's wrong. Now all of a sudden it's up 7 miles up the Ohio River. They're detecting at least 4 of the chemicals that were in the spill. This is crazy. It's wild how we have not heard anything about the Ohio River until today. Now it's all over every one of these. Ohio River. Ohio River. It's everywhere. Ohio River again. Okay, violation of water quality standards. Another one. Count 51. Count 52. Open dumping. Count 53, causing an air nuisance. Count 54, response cost under state law. Count 55, negligence. Count 56, common law public nuisance. Count 57, statutory nuisance. Defendants... 530. Defendant's nuisance is ongoing, and as long as the nuisance continues in Ohio, injuries and damages will continue. Count 58. Trespass by the foreign international conduct. Defendant caused and continued to cause contamination of air, public water, soil, lands, and submerged lands, wildlife, and biota, and other property held in trust by Ohio on behalf of its citizens. This contamination was or should have been reasonably foreseeable to defendants. Defendants intentionally contaminated Ohio's natural resources and property. Wow. Ohio did not authorize the invasion of its natural resources and its public trust property. Wow. As a directed and proximate cause of the defendant's continuing trespassing in engaging in the above-mentioned activities and the resulting contamination which trespassed against the state's public trust property, Ohio has suffered direct and consequential damages as described herein. Woohoo! Prayer for relief. This is wild, guys. This is wild. There you go, guys. Trial by jury. They requested trial by jury. And that's it. There's your whole... There's the, there it is, guys. There's the Attorney General's filed. There it is right there. It's all of it. What do you guys think? So, what did I say? Was there something else I wanted to show you guys? And then we already went over this. Yeah, we already went over that one. Alright, guys. Like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate all the continued support. Again, I'm just nervous to go to East Palestine for the point of the pollution in the air and whatnot, but now that I see this and that basically it's already in Pittsburgh, I don't really think I have anything to, whatever. So we will be getting up there one of these days soon. Like, subscribe, and share. This is wild.